Alright, so let's try this out. So I don't usually do this often. I mean, I'm usually at home and stuff to do a video, but this time I wanted to do something a bit different. So I'm in the little outback area that I've near me. I'm sorry for it being overexposed. It's I don't actually have a filter for this lens, and of course there's ants around me. What would you expect? It's Australia. So I've always wanted to do a video like this. I just haven't really found the way to do it, so I figured I'd just give an idea. So first of all, something about belief, something about who we are, something what we believe in. So for those that don't know, obviously I call myself the Aussie Viking, but I actually do believe in the Norse gods. I believe in the Aesir and the Vanir. Now I know there's so many different names of what we call themselves. We call ourselves pagans, Norse pagans, Asatru believers, and about a million other things. And that's fine. Now, I obviously believe in the Aesir and the Vanir, so I just say that. I don't push myself into any known sort of area. I just say, hey, look, I believe in the Norse gods. I reckon you should too. Well, if you are open to. Now, when you have that belief, though, there's so many things that people have that even I kind of want to just talk about. And the biggest one is faith, right? Faith. We all have faith, right? But as you believe in something, this goes for all religions too. As you believe in something, that faith can wane and die, and maybe things like thought come into it. People just tell you, well, what's the point? You know, atheists come into it and all that. And don't get me wrong, that your faith will wane. In any belief you have, your faith will wane. And I've had mine happen too. But I think it depends on what you consider and evolve that faith into. So, for example, yes, the idea of the gods, or any god, or all the gods, or what you want to believe in, could be written down to somebody who's had a good imagination. We see it today with things like Spider-Man, Superman, and such. It could just be inspiration, right? That's fair. It could be somebody who just took a whole lot of our drugs and such and turned it into, well, that. Wrote stories. Now, granted, I could argue that, hang on, who's to say that we didn't hit a higher plane of consciousness if you did those drugs and you go on that little journey and you're like, oh, well, I saw the lifestyles of the Aesir and the Vanir. It's like, well, one could argue that, yes, you did, and you wrote them down while in a drug state, but who's to say that that drug state did not allow you to see a world that is beyond ours? It's always something that I always thought was an interesting concept. Another one is actually, well, basically, I think this is one of the most realistic. And here's the thing, what I'm saying here, I think for me, is some of the most realistic interpretations of what we believe in. Another one is the gods may have actually just been an advanced alien race that came down. Now, I know some people say that's preposterous, but I'd argue that's pretty full on, If you're an advanced alien race from back to where humanity was back then, you're going to believe they're gods. I mean, we still would believe, if aliens came down now with advanced spaceships from another galaxy, we'd believe they're gods as well. So I don't think it's like that far-fetched. And I'd argue that, hey, they could even be better. I'm actually trying to get a better shot here, I'd argue that it's probably even better with the fact that, well, let's be honest here, they could also be an advanced alien race that's from another dimension. Yes, I know, again, this all sounds really weird, but hey, when you believe in the impossible, you got to kind of make it sound impossible. Another one I think is interesting is, and I think this is the one that kind of brings all of these theories together and actually kind of makes it very realistic, is the concept of a multiverse. Now, science has said that that's sort of their interpretation of many things. The multiverse, for the most part, is a possibility. And if it is a possibility and it proves to be true and it is indeed infinite, then who's to say there's not a universe where what we believe in, our gods that we perceive in, are the main proprietors of that universe? Perhaps they created it, perhaps they are controlled by it, perhaps they're in it, perhaps they are that advanced alien race, perhaps they are that supernatural entities and beings of these different realms. I don't think that's an impossibility, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't really bring in. And if it's oh yes, if we live in another realm and such, and there's other universes, time can run backwards. Hitler won the Second World War. I mean, if that exists, I don't see the problem with gods, my gods, your gods, a god existing. Okay, because in the end, there's nothing wrong with a belief at all. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a belief, as long as that belief makes you a better person. Then go for it 100%. Another thing I kind of want to bring up really is, and I'm sorry if this is all over the place, this is my first time doing it. Don't worry, I will, next time if I do more of these, put a thing on my really bad microphone. But that to me, that's the thing too. A belief is a thing that makes you better. I've become a better person from my beliefs with the Aesir and the Vanir, who I've connected to, who I've loved like a family. Because in the end, it is a family, that two warring tribes of gods that came together as a family. And to me, while they weren't perfect, no family is, they really came together as people, creatures. They are valuable. They are human in a way that we can relate to and love. They're not just omniscient, ultimately powerful, and they allow bad things to happen. You can understand why, because they have emotions and raw aspects of what make us human in godly form, and I kind of love that. And I always find it interesting about how that all comes together. At least for me. I know that may change for some people, but hey, it is what it is. So another thing that I'm kind of thinking on is when you've got that belief, it also is how you treat others. Treat people how you would treat the gods. I treat the gods like I respect them and like they are a family, right? That's how I treat most of the other people. Yes, you'll see and meet people that are fuckwits. Of course you will. You just deal with it, but you don't always have to attack them or hate on them because you don't agree with them, you know? For the most part, I think that's saying that for the most part is how I perceive things. And that's the thing too. In my belief with the Aesir and the Vanir, you've got to, I personally respect other religions. If you believe in the Greek gods or the Norse gods or the Egyptian gods or a god, I will respect that. You know, I'm not going to condemn you and say, you don't believe what I believe and how dare you, you will go straight to Helheim. And it's like, well, no, because what's the point? I mean, I believe, in my belief, there are two warring tribes of gods. What's the problem? You know, I see no problem with there being more than one or two or three or four or five or whatever, how many aspects of gods are out there. You got to respect that, because like I said, in the multiverse, who's to say that these gods don't exist in one way or another, in one shape or another? They could be omniscient gods. They could be supernatural creatures. They could be an advanced alien race. They could be an advanced alien race that lives in other dimensions. Who knows? But if what is written down in that story makes us become better people, I see no problem here. And I guess one of the bigger aspects, and this is one that I think we're all kind of have to deal with, is white supremacy ones. All right, first of all, if you're a white supremacist, you're a fucking cunt. Fuck you. You do not understand this religion if you're a white supremacist and you have Mjolnir on you, or the Yggdrasil, the life tree, or anything to do with the norms, or anything to do with this religion, because you don't understand it. Look at the gods themselves, the Aesir and the Vanir. Odin wasn't the biggest fan of the giants. Yes, he slept with a lot of them, but hey, people are weird and gods are probably weirder. But he still made a blood pact with a giant, which was Loki, and he still respected Loki for the most part. While Loki didn't fully respect who these other gods were, there was that respect there. And even though they didn't agree on everything that happened, there was still that respect of a different beings that are, you know, a different being that was a giant. Now you could put that with somebody who has different coloured skin, different coloured perspectives and views on life. You know, they didn't just say, oh yeah, oh my god, I'm going to wipe you out. And to me, that's like, we shouldn't be doing that. If you believe in this religion, you can't be a white supremacist, because that's completely a misunderstanding of our religion as a whole, right? And of course, if you are a white supremacist, you are, as I said before, a fuckwit. So, you know, please fuck off, because just, no, this world doesn't need you. We don't need you in our religion. And in the end, you are as important to us as the Westboro Baptist Church is to their religion. You're not very important. So while this is a sort of kind of rambling video, I just want to show off that, if you can see that, it's quite nice. It is better at night when it gets lower, and it's even better in winter, because winter is amazing. This is like the first video that I want to do. I do want to do more. I intend to do more. Hopefully next time I'll actually bring my tripod, because sitting in the dirt with a lot of ants everywhere probably isn't the smartest idea. But hey, this is Aussie Viking out, and this is kind of something new for me to do, and hope the Aesir and Vanir guide you, or whatever god you believe in, whatever deity, whatever spirit, whatever it is that you believe in, as long as it makes you a better person and you respect others, you're good to go. Anyway, Aussie Viking out, Sim Valhalla, bye.